Well, landing a good job is just one of the things college grads should be thinking about as they head out into the real world. And there are some key personal finance issues that grads need to be considering right about now. That's why we've brought in the Watchdog on Wall Street, our friend Chris Markowski. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, so these are some things that we found on a website, Chris, called SavvySugar.com.
If it was on the internet, it's probably true, right?
It's got to be true.
It's got to be true. It was on the internet.
And I know I always look for all my personal finance advice from SavvySugar.com. But they have some interesting things. I want to see what you think about these. The first one, milk the new healthcare insurance rules, meaning that if you haven't gotten a job with benefits, now you can stay on your parents till you're 26.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like doing that, you can do that. Thank you very much, because we're all else paying for it at this point in time. But if you want to jump on that, you can go ahead and you can do that.
Sure.
But more often than not, I would recommend try getting your own. If you can do it outside, use a health savings account, get something coupled with some high deductible health insurance, because then you know what, you can keep it throughout life, and you can also build savings through it.
It becomes a retirement savings.
Yes.
Use money from your boss if they offer any kind of thrift savings plan. Go for it.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. Anything that your employer gives you, and people, it's staggering. Every single year they put out numbers in regards to the amount of money that people give up, that they can get free money from their boss,
right.
Billions of dollars.
All right, we're going to have more of these. Those are just two, but throughout the morning we'll get you some more. So if you're a young person about to graduate, keep your eye on the screen. When we come
this topic this morning, want to know your thoughts.
I want to file this under people who need to get a life. Seriously, first and foremost, does a clown make you want to go to McDonald's? Not to mention the fact, do your kids decide what they're going to have for dinner? I mean, give me a break. Why do these people have to get so involved? Why do they care what McDonald's uses as advertising?
Well, he's certainly the most recognizable. Been around since 1971. I mean, I remember when I went to McDonald's, that's what I associated when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought, oh, he might be there right now, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or he'll be at my birthday party right there. Yeah. But I was a child, and my mom had more control over, you know, what I'm doing. But a new CNN poll says 72% of Americans say no, Ronald McDonald should not retire. 28% say he needs to get the boot.
And, you know, look, the McDonald's is always the target. People love to pick on the big guy. And so these, what was the group called? You know, corporate accountability, some nonsense. It's basically just McDonald's bashing. You know, if you don't like the food and you think it's unhealthy, don't buy it.
Yeah, exactly. The clown kind of scared me, though, when I was a kid. I gotta tell you, though.
I don't like clowns either, but, you know, your kids don't decide what they're going to have for dinner. You do.
Exactly.
All right, yeah, go somewhere else. Send us your thoughts. Daily Buzz Now. The Gal Time, where I'm joined by a wonderful guy, financial money expert, Watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski in the house all morning. We're talking about money things, and we're talking about, you have children as well. We're talking about, you know, all these little fees and allowances, and how much do you pay for the tooth fairy, and how much do you pay if you clean up your room. Talking about how much should you pay, and it certainly can, you know, be expensive. One of the bloggers that we found gives some rules for this exactly. Check this out: $20 for a birthday gift for the, you know, little kiddos, or you can spend that, you know, same amount, the equivalent of that, for your kids to go to the party. Most parents pay $1, $5 for the tooth fairy, depending on if it's the first tooth.
My in-laws screw it all up. Doesn't make any difference.
What happened?
They're just gonna go. It's gonna go higher than whatever we give anyway.
I know. My mom gives my son so much money per A. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, first of all, you didn't give me that much money. Second of all,
yeah, I get that too. It's funny.
Second of all, he doesn't need that much money for an A. He needs to be making A's regardless of how much you pay. But anyway, how much do you think you should give for the tooth fairy? An A.
Well, that's not in my contract. I don't handle those negotiations. My wife just basically handles that aspect of the thing. The tooth fairy, yeah, we still do the tooth fairy a little bit. I mean, a couple bucks here and there. But like I said, it doesn't make any difference. My in-laws are going to usurp it. My parents will end up usurping it one way or another.
Sure.
So it doesn't really make much of a difference.
How much do you give or let your child spend on one of their friends' birthday parties?
Depends on the kid, how close they are. It depends, you know, whether it's just one of their school friends or a little bit closer. It's all up in the air.
I spend probably about, you know, 15, 20, 25 bucks, you're right, depending on who it is.
Now it's also first communion time and all that. We got all those things that we're going to too, so there's a lot of different events that you got to give to.
Absolutely. I put this question on my Facebook page, and one lady was saying she spends $5 to $10 a tooth for each tooth. This is Michelle. Yeah, she says the reason why she spends so much is because she didn't get a lot for her birthdays, so now she's trying to overcompensate with her child. She'll go broke doing that, right?
She's got tooth issues, I guess.
Love, fashion, entertainment, need more Gal Time? Be sure to check out galtime.com for tons of tips, articles, and discussions just like these. So we've heard of jeggings and leggings and all of that stuff at this point. Chris?
Actually, I wouldn't have heard of it unless for the show.
Well, now,
for the show, we never heard of it.
Let's add you a new
You
one.
have some pajama jeans at home.
How about gender pants?
Do you know what those are?
Not
You know what those
familiar,
are?
not familiar with the gender pants.
Look,
Sorry.
let us
Chris.
tell you. Would you wear those?
Whoop, doggy.
What you gonna do with all that junk? All that junk up on your...
But you know what, ladies? Don't get upset because they are gender neutral. You can wear them too.
Check it out. Gender pants, and we are asking the question, ladies, would you have your man wear these? We found this at a place called omgblog.com, and it's no accident that directly next to that picture is an ad for a gay male sex chat line. No, this is not coincidence.
Whatever works for them.
It looks painful. It looks constricting.
It just looks like hot pants.
Hot
Like
pants.
a little hot pants, and it looks like.
Vajazzling, vajazzling. Let's just call the whole thing off. Remember vajazzling and what that was? You vajazzled your vajayjay.
I do recall.
There you go. There's a picture of it to help you. Guess what, Chris? They thought you were left out, so they say you can pajazzle too.
Don't you? It was a comedy skit. You might be a redneck. You might be batting from the left
rednecks
side of
wear
the
these?
plate. You might be batting from the left side of the plate if you're doing something like that. Just saying. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I just don't
But you just might
understand.
be.
I was looking at this website, and okay, it's bad enough that you put it down there, and there are these Swarovski crystals but
Attached
then,
to your...
exactly. But then the designs, they've got lips, they've got a heart for men. What are they thinking? But over in the England, they're apparently selling out.
It sounds painful to me. Today, due to nasty weather, the Prez's plane circled back, landed safely 20 minutes later. Let's look at your big news. Go around the water cooler. You know, this is the season for weddings, and people are, you know, getting married and being proposed to and all this.
Yep.
But check out this craziness in China. This poor woman was left at the altar, so to speak, and a couple of days before she tried to jump out the window, you see there, the crazy story making headlines around the world. She's upset because her fiance broke up with her just a couple of days
The day before.
the day before their wedding, and then he ended up getting married to some other woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, playa, but I mean, she was so
it's terrible.
upset. This is horrible.
Yeah, she's only 22 years old. Obviously, you can tell by the look on her face that she's under something, you know, or on something, you know, obviously just trying to cope and deal with this difficult time. But can you imagine? He says, not only am I not marrying you, but I married somebody else.
Yeah, so she gets dressed up in her dress, and thankfully people saw what was going on and grabbed her and pulled her. She was going to jump, you know, 7 stories.
Yeah, about
Sure
80
enough.
feet, they said. It's really sad.
Now she needs an agent. She's going to sell a story to Hollywood. She'll be all set.
Right.
Oh no, that's crazy. So anyway, let's come back to the States. In Massachusetts, lawmakers are considering a bill that says if you are in the process of getting a divorce, you cannot have sex in your home.
Hey, what?
Parents will not be able to have sex inside their house while they're waiting for their divorce to be finalized. Now, they're giving the reason saying it's meant to prevent domestic violence and shield children while the divorce is underway. But some people are like, wait a minute, you can't tell me when I can get busy.
No, but there are some points to this. There are some good points to this. I don't think the parents should be bringing home somebody else in front of their kids. You know, while the divorce is going on, this is a difficult time for these kids. And if they see, you know, mommy or daddy bringing somebody else home and walking them into the bedroom, that's just going to mess with their heads. So there are, I mean, there's some points to this. They should wait till the kids are in bed before they go to bed.
Right, I'm hoping they wouldn't bring someone in front of them,
No.
you know, in front of their mate, too.
You never know.
You want that, but you also have to understand that here in this country, we're all about personal responsibility, and the government cannot be getting involved in all these various different things.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. You also talk about the can of worms you're going to open up in regards to lawsuits, and you're going to bring more problems into the divorce cases. You know, you can't do this. The government cannot get involved in every aspect of our lives.
Now,
Yeah, no, I agree.
what would be nice is if we lived in a world where if you have people that are prone to get married, have children, then get divorced and be abusive to one another, we could have a law that prevented them from having sex beforehand.
There you go.
That would
You shouldn't have kids in the first
the
place.
first time.
DailyBuzzNow.com is the place to go to learn more about these stories. But first, top of the hour. Welcome. Oh, excuse me. 23 minutes after the hour. I'm rushing the show, right?
That's okay.
My bad. Chris Markowski is joining us this morning talking about a couple of things buzzing, like President Obama cashing in on this whole birther movement. Now that we've seen the long-form birth certificate, President Obama says, you know what? The campaign, is saying, you know what, you can wear it too if you want to.
Yeah, you can pick up these T-shirts for $25.
$25.
And it says made in the USA on the front with Obama's picture, and it has a copy of his birth certificate on the back. You know what? To me, it's a little silly, but at the same time, pretty creative to raise money.
Very creative.
Yeah.
And you can also get the mug as well. You can, you know, you don't want to sport the T-shirt.
Second best thing this guy's done next to killing old Bin Laden. It's fantastic. This is a brush with capitalism for him. I love this. He's getting it.
Do you think enough people will buy them now?
Oh, I definitely, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, it's great. It's fine. You're creating jobs. That's creating jobs. You're hiring people. You have to bring people on to put this together. That's how the system works.
And I mean, it's not like, you know, he had to come up with some crazy concept. This birther movement, you know what I mean? Everyone knows he's making a joke out of it again.
And I guarantee it probably costs them anywhere from $3 to $5 to make these T-shirts, and they're selling them for $25. So it's turning a nice little pocket.
They're also selling gender pants, just in case, to wear with your T-shirt.
There you go.
Here you go.
Just don't go out in public looking like that.
Hello, this is the whole new version of the jean shorts. I saw this and I thought, man, that's got to be uncomfortable.
Village people getting the band back together, huh?
But let me just say, ladies, do not be upset because they make them for you too. They are gender neutral. So now you can wear these little gender pants as well.
It looks
I feel like they look just like little hot pants, those little booty shorts. You know what I mean, that you would wear. I would hope that people would just wear these kind of like undies instead of wearing them out in public.
I wonder why they call them gender pants, though. You know what I mean? It's just kind of an odd name. The thunder from below.
Jeans and underpants.
Okay.
Underpants.
Maybe Chris is like, no comment.
Yeah. I'm selling. I'm not buying that stock. So.
Do you have any markings, tattoos, or anything like that? Well, I got something for you. You might need to get Vajazzling. You know, Vajayjays have been getting vajazzled.
Yes.
Well, now, guys, don't feel bad. We're not going to leave you out. There's a new trend called Vajazzle.
Vajazzle. So this all started over in England, and the guy that came up with these and put them in his shop said they are selling like crazy. He has more appointments from men than he does for women.
It's a line of stick-on crystals just for men. They go above your to make it prettier.
Really? No thanks.
Once again, it's selling real well in the West Village in San Francisco, I'm sure. Doing real well there.
But not with you. More to the buzz after this. He's been hanging out with us all morning, talking about this going on in South Florida, where OBGYNs are turning away pregnant women if they are too fat, setting up rules saying if you're 200 pounds or more, if your BMI is a certain number over what we want it to be, we will not treat you.
I think this is so sad and just unfortunate and so contradictory at the same time. They're saying, you know, heavier women have higher health risks, but at the same time, we won't treat you. You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
Let me ask you, Chris, you know, with the malpractice issues there and so many people filing lawsuits, are the doctors kind of protecting themselves?
Huge part of the story here in Florida. There's so many OBGYNs won't even come to the state. They actually leave the state. A lot of clients that I have to deal with is because the malpractice insurance is so high, many of them have to choose to either self-insure and do it outside. This is a part of the problem, is because tons of lawsuits happen in regards to births. In regards to anything that happens with the baby or anything that goes wrong, they always blame the doctor, and they're trying to avoid and trying to keep their costs down.
But what about if they why won't they turn away, say, skinny women who are anorexic? Why not go to them and say, we won't accept you too because you're a big risk as well?
They may do that too. That may just not be part of the story.
If a woman has a thyroid problem, so to say, you know, she has weight issues, she's overweight, where's she supposed to go?
That's part of the problem that we have. There's no tort reform that we have here in regards to all these various
They should have an alternative. You know, I'm sorry, we can't see you here, but here's a card, go to this person.
But Chris is saying it's misplaced anger. It's misplaced anger at the OBGYNs. They can't stay in business because it's so expensive for them to get sued.
Okay. DailyBuzzNow.com is the place.